Delusion, a false belief or judgment about external reality, held despite irrefutable evidence to the contrary, occurring especially in mental conditions. Shalom to the elect, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Racha Kodash. Double honor to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and mercy to the hopeful elect, beginning with the 144,000. All right, I'm the brother Yawanathan, back with another quick lesson. Lord willing, is edifying. And we're going to talk about these delusions today. All right, how the Lord said that he was going to choose our delusions. Ours talking about the nation of Israel, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, the Hebrew Israelites, according to the Bible. Now, you see the condition that our people are in today on the planet Earth. We under the curses of Deuteronomy 28. We suffered the most evilest, heinous things that any nation on this earth has ever went through. And there's reasons for that. It's because we disobeyed our power. We disobeyed the creators of heaven and earth, which is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls God and Christ. And because we did that, because we're the Lord's people, the chosen people, Israel, the Lord basically brought all manner of evil and curses upon us. This is the book of Isaiah 66, verse 4. I also will choose their delusions. Actually, I'm going to start at verse 3. And the headline of the verse, it says, hypocrisy rebuked, because our people are hypocritical. And there's another scripture that says that in Isaiah, I think it's the first chapter or the second chapter, right? But it says, he that killeth an ox, verse 3, Isaiah 66, verse 3, he that killeth an ox is as if he slew a man. He that sacrificeth a lamb as if he cut off a dog's neck. He that offereth an oblation as if he offered swine's blood. He that burneth incense as if he blessed an idol. It says, they have chosen their own ways, and their soul delighteth in their abominations. It's talking about 2/3 of you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. You don't delight in serving the Lord. This truth and us rebuking you and telling you the right way, it seems grievous to you. It bothers you. For us, when we heard the truth, it was music to our ears. Of course, it hurt. We was cut, we was pricked. But learning that this is the right way and that this is the way of our Creator, and this is what Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai wants from us, it was actually delightful for us to hear these things and to, apply it to our life and for it to become our reality. Just remember that key word, reality, because that's what a delusion is a person that's living in a false reality. All right, they don't really understand what's going on around them, and it's borderline synonym with hallucinations. Right, so it says, I also will choose their delusions. So the Lord Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, is the one that thought of the ideas on what delusions they were going to basically put upon our people. What delusion was our people going to be living in, especially in these last days, which a big major one is, not knowing who you are, not knowing that you're Israelites, not knowing that the guy that you call Jesus Christ, which is that so-called white man, Caesar Borgia, that's not really the Lord. Our Lord's name is Yahweh Shai. He's a so-called black man. These are all delusions that our people are currently living in. And it's the Lord Yahweh Yahweh Shai that said that the deceive and the deceiver are his. All right, Job 12 and 16. So the Lord Yahweh is the one that ultimately chose what delusions our people were going to be living in. And if we observe, all you got to do is look, just open your eyes and look. You can see what delusions our people are in. And we're going to get into it in this lesson, and we'll bring their fears upon them. Because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not hear. But they did evil before mine eyes, and chose that in which I delighted not. So the elect of the nation of Israel have delight in serving the Lord. All right, keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, we see the benefits. And I say we humbly, Abba Ratazah, I'm one of the elect. And same way for you, sincere brothers and sisters. We hope that we the elect, but we're going to do the things that's pleasing to the Lord. And it's delightful for us. We like doing it. I like doing things that, benefit my health. I like praying to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. and my prayers be answered. I love all of these things. I find great pleasure and delight in my everyday life to serve the Lord. It's not a burden to me. It's not, hard. I mean, I'm not going to say it's not hard, but as Yahweh Shai said, his burden is light and his yoke is easy. You do your videos, you study, you reach out to brothers. It's a very simple, basic thing. And you should find pleasure in that if you're one of the Lord's elect. Now, the 2/3, they find pleasure in wickedness. They don't feel good and alive and, until they doing something evil. That's the only time 2/3 of Israel feels good. That's why when we tell them the truth, you can see their face twisting and turning. You can see the demons in them getting riled up because they really don't want to hear the truth because they don't find no delight in righteousness. They find delight in abominations. So when they doing their evil, that's when they feel good. That's when they feel alive. They happy. That's why the Lord's going to destroy them. But when you deal with the Hebrew word delusion in this verse, because I've read the standard Merriam-Webster, if you will, definition of delusion, the Hebrew word is
Strong's H 8586 Ta'alulim. Ta'alulim.
That's a pretty long word. Obviously, that's not how you would say it in the Lashawan Quadash, in the Holy Tongue, the ancient Hebrew, but I'm doing the best that I can. Wantonness, that's what the word means. Wantonness, caprice, vexation. Let's just look up the word wantonness. Wantonness is of a cruel or violent action, deliberate or unprovoked. It could fall under that because the curses of Deuteronomy 28, that only falls on our people, Israel, the Israelites. You see so-called black on black crime, so-called Hispanic on Hispanic crime. You see basically unrelentless violence amongst our people, deliberate and unprovoked. You look at you step on my shoes or you look at me the wrong way and I'm going to boom you. That's the energy that 2/3 of our people is in. That's part of the delusion of a cruel or violent action. And the next part, sexually unrestrained or having many casual sexual relationships, typically used of a woman. So that's what I really want to focus on in this lesson. Now, we know there's many delusions because he said, I will choose your delusions with an S. But the main one that I want to focus on is this wantonness, which the word literally means a woman that's having many sexual partners. And what do you call that today? Feminism, women's liberation. That is a strong delusion that is currently just fucking our people up, man, quite literally. All right, it's messing our people all the way up, beginning, with the men, because the men of the nation of Israel has to deal with this false sense of reality. And I'm talking about, in context, I'm talking about men that actually know the truth, or men that, they don't really believe in the delusion. They're not really sold under the delusion, but yet we still have to live in this world where what? Let me get that real quick. Jeremiah 31:22, where it's like women are above us. But that's a delusion, brothers. Woman is not above us, man. The order of Yahweh by Shem Shai have not changed. All right, it's Yahweh when you read 1 Corinthians 11. Yahweh, then his son Yahweh Shai, then the man, the Israelite man, then the Israelite woman, then the children. That's the order of things. That has never changed. But Jeremiah 31:22, how long wilt thou go about, O backsliding daughter? Talking about you Israelites. For the Lord have created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. The Lord said he would choose our delusions. Then he said he created a new thing in the earth where women are basically above men. That is part of the delusion. That's a major part of the delusions of what the Lord sent amongst our people, because now you got all type of statistics. This is not a red pill, podcast video, but I do watch a lot of that content. And, through the spirit, that's where the inspiration of this lesson came from. You watch things like such as Fresh and Fit, these different guys, King Riches out there in the UK, and these different YouTube podcasters, they call them red pill. They call them the manosphere, where they're pretty much breaking the delusion, and they're showing you, no, wait, women have no power over you. Stop giving them power. And that's according to Proverbs 31. Let me grab that real quick. Because the longer you jakes don't realize these things, and, you're trying to live according to the ways of this world, where you're trying to just get into fit in, and, you simping, especially you fucking simp niggas, man. I can't stand a goddamn simp. A simp, when you deal with the acronym of the word simp, it's a sucker, idolizing, mediocre pussy. All right, and that's what you men in this society are doing. You basically have fallen victim to this delusion. All right, and because of that, you have destroyed. And I'm talking, mainly the so-called white man, of course, because he's the one that established women's liberation and all these different things, female rights and all of that. He's the one that set this whole thing up. We know he's the devil. I'm not talking about that, right? I'm talking about you men that are feeding into the delusion. You men that are not standing upon your ground on your 10 toes and putting your fucking foot down, man. And you letting these women rule over you. You letting these women control you, man. You in the delusion, man. You in a fucking delusion. If you think a woman has power over you, man. In this society, yeah, they can call the police. There's certain rules and laws in place that I'm not going and telling you go break the rule, go grape a woman. But guess what? Grape in the scriptures, that's a legal thing as far as, in context. And let me say it the right way. This is a sensitive topic for a lot of you, but grape is in the Bible as long as it's done in order according to the law. If the woman is a virgin and she's not betrothed to any man, you can have her. You can grape her. All right. But in this world, hell, they won't tell you that. That's part of the delusion. You think you got to walk around courting a woman, dating her, enticing her. You don't even necessarily have to do that according to the laws of Yahweh by Shemal Shah, which we find delight in. But we cannot keep the laws. So let me rephrase everything again. We cannot keep the laws in this society. So don't go out there doing that. I'm not telling any of y'all to go out there and do that. What I'm telling you is that there's a fucking delusion that's in place where these women think they really have power. They really think they have body autonomy. When the scriptures say that your body belongs to your husband in Ephesians, the 5th chapter. All right. So as long as you have a husband, your body is not your body. Your body belongs to him. Just as our bodies belong to Yahweh Shah, and we give our bodies, Romans 12:2, we give our bodies as a living sacrifice for the Lord. Because our bodies don't belong to us. Our life does not belong to us. Our life is with Yahweh Shai. So it's the same thing. Woman is supposed to be listening to men and being ruled over by men. But look at this goddamn society, man. This is Proverbs 31:3. Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. So by you men trying to, you basically suffering because of this these women walking around all proud and shit, man. Which first and foremost, they're the ones in a delusion because they think, I'll just have sex with as many men as possible. And that gives me value. And in the contrary, that's a delusion because you just lost any and every value that you've ever had. All right. What makes a woman valuable, what makes a man valuable is not the same. The Lord said he created woman. He said it's not good that man should be alone, but I will make him a helpmeet. He made woman for men. Women were literally created for men. OK, so this whole woman's lib and equal rights, that's all a delusion, man. It's all one big delusion. There ain't no equal rights. None of us are equal. We above you. We're stronger than you. We're better than you. We're smarter than you. And you're going to see that in the near future. All right. Because when all these prophecies and all this judgment starts coming to pass, you women are not going to be able to defend yourself. You're not going to do anything for your goddamn self. You're going to run to Israelite men, and particularly elect Israelite men. All right. Isaiah 13:12, the men that are going to be like fine gold in them days. That's the men you're going to run to. So, this joke is up, man. This fucking delusion, we not falling for it. At one point, we always under it. And, all I would say is you got another word called incel. When you look up the word incel, you have this culture of incel men, quote unquote, that women have really created this title, incel culture. And when you look it up, it's basically involuntarily celibate. So they say every 1 in 3 men haven't had sex in a year or is a virgin. Every 1 out of 3 men. So you meet 3 men, one of these dudes ain't fucking, man. One of these dudes can't get no buns. Why? Because he's falling victim to this delusion. Now, I'm going to say this with discretion and with a disclaimer. If you a brother that can't get no buns and you out here, suffering, you burning, go deal with a harlot, man. There's nothing wrong in the scriptures of dealing with an harlot. Now, it says don't be joined onto an harlot. Him that is joined to an harlot will, what does it say? In the Apocrypha, matter of fact, I wanted to read this too. I was thinking about it. So let me bring this one up. Cleave. No, cleave. That's another one in Corinthians. I'm talking about the one in Sirach. Cleave to harlots. Right. Ecclesiasticus, Sirach 19 and let's start at 2. Yeah, the point is in 2. It says, wine and women will make men of understanding to fall away. So wine is talking about literal wine. Woman is talking about literal woman, but it could be twofold because wine is also compared to philosophies in other verses, especially in the book of Proverbs and the Songs of Solomon, Ecclesiastes in the Bible. It refers to wine being like philosophy, like other religions, so to speak, and as well as women. But that's literal and that's figurative because wine again represents philosophy and other religions that will make a man of understanding fall out the truth or go into the world or go and fall under a delusion, a false sense of reality. Philosophy is like your reality. Like a person's philosophy is like how they perceive life. The study of wisdom. That's what it ultimately means, a word philosophy. But everybody in this society nowadays, they are Facebook philosophers. So they got all these quotes they post, they put their status up, and they think they understand the deep things of life. When in all reality, you people are all in a delusion because you don't know Yahweh Shemel Shai. You don't know the judgment of the Lord. You don't know what's coming. You don't know what reality you're living in. You don't believe in Bible prophecy. I'm talking about the majority of the people of this world, especially you Israelites, 2/3 of you. You don't really know what's going on. So you're the one that have fallen away because of wine and women. And I say that literally because some of you men, you give your strength to women. You become incels. You do become involuntarily celibate. Like you want to fuck, but you can't. Why? Because you're trying to play the dating game. You're trying to do the courting thing. You're trying to do things according to this delusion that the so-called white man set up, that really Yahweh Shemel Shai set up using the so-called white men, which is that women are above you. They come past you. They get better jobs than you. They get better paid than you. Life is on easy mode for them. And you men are really in this delusion as if, you got to impress these women or some shit, man. You got to fucking, court the woman and you got to impress her to the point where she chooses you. When in all reality, we the ones that choose the women that we deal with. All right, women, they're the ones that allow access for sex. Like they, in the red pill space, they say this. Women allow access for sex, which even that is finicky because like I just quoted, the law in Deuteronomy 22 says otherwise, but men control access to relationships. So let's say in this modern dating society, men are the ones who choose a relationship with a woman, or if not, they'll put you in the recreational use only category, which you already should know what that means. So men are the ones that still hold the power, but they're pretending and living in this fucking la Disneyland world where, you got to impress a woman. You got to ask her on a date, open her chair, the chivalry thing, man. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with, chivalry and, treating your woman nice. I'm not saying that because, you got to explain all of this for Jake. Some of you Jakes are real simple minded, man. And it's like I say one thing and you may take it another way. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that in the ancient world, women were trying to impress men. In this modern world, men are going out of their wits to impress women. You have men who are choosing to be monogamous. I don't know what type of mad, demonic shit is that. Choosing to be monogamous to a woman. That's not scriptural. You got men who are literally running out of their wits every day in this society for women just to get a piece of ass because they starved. They're famished. All right, of pussy. They can't get none because of this modern dating culture, this delusion. When in reality, you can get some, but you are making yourself a victim to the delusion. You could go deal with harlots. You can go, be honest with a woman. Be straight up. Like certain women, you got to know which type of woman you're dealing with. All right, certain women, you're not going to mention nothing about no multiple wives and all that. But to some women, you might. It just depends on the spirit. Just, every one of us men in this truth, so to speak, we supposed to have a form of wisdom and how to move, man. If you got to lie to a chick, you can lie to a fucking woman. You don't need to tell a woman every goddamn truth about you. The scriptures say, keep your mouth from her that lieth in thy bosom. Keep your secrets from her. You don't got to tell her everything. You don't got to tell her where the point is, man, I'm going to end the lesson off on this note. This modern delusion, this woman's compassing a man, women are above men. Women have free choice and all of this thing. It's all BS. Women are still women deep down inside. They still have biological needs. They want a family. They want a strong man, a husband who can provide and protect. And a lot of you men are not displaying these traits because you're afraid of this modern culture. You're afraid of rejection. You're afraid of a woman telling you no, or you losing a chance and an opportunity at some pussy because you not being your true self. And these women, a lot of these women, in all actuality, brothers, they see that. They see when you being a little punk, when you're not trying to put your foot down as a real man. You're trying to be politically correct. You're trying to cater to them. And guess what? They get turned off by that, man. That women don't really want that. This is all a delusion. Women are still the same. All right, these women that are slutted out, that got all these bodies, I'm talking about a lot of bodies. I'm talking about women who are gutted. They don't even got a soul down there anymore. Those are the women. You don't want to deal with those women. Stay far away from those women. But you got a decent woman, deal with her like a man. All right, give her rules. Put your foot down, man. Because that's what women really want. There's a secret nature in women that even all this feminism and women's rights has destroyed within themselves. And they all messed up, man. They don't even know what the hell's going on. Some of them women. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be the man and leading your household, man. We got to go back to the old paths, man. Stop living this incel, and simp culture. This incel and simp culture. This shit got to stop, man. You know what I'm saying? This shit got to stop, because there should be no reason why a man is burning. There should be no reason why a brother that wants to get some can't get some. If it is, you gotta examine yourself, brother. You gotta, go back to the drawing board, so to speak. Soak up some game from the fellow Akim. The brothers that's are, somewhat successful with women, because we could tell you a thing or two on how it works. All right, and how that incel culture and you trying to simp, that hurts you more than anything. That doesn't get you nothing. That don't get you nowhere with no woman. You see what I mean? But that's the delusion. You think you got to simp now. You think you got to, court her and write her a poem. Get the fuck out of here with all that shit, man. Be a fucking man. Gird up your loins like a man, as the scriptures say, because Isaiah 4:1 is getting ready to come into effect. All right, so these women are going to be coming by the droves anyways. But if you're not a real man, you don't know how to deal with them and guide them and lead them, then what good are you? What good of a man are you if you don't even know how to properly be the head of your own household? All right, I just want to put that out there real quick, man. There's no personal attacks against no brother. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing, no hatred on my end. It's all love, man. It's all love, because I really don't like seeing that. I really hate and despise seeing a woman who is so-called, garnishing control and power over a man. I hate that thing really burns me up, man. A woman should never, have a dude in her pocket, or however they say, in her purse, so to speak. But you men have created, you fed into this delusion, man. You've created an even worse dating culture for the rest of us. And now we got to be even more manly, so to speak, to get these women in order. And I'm not blaming men to say that's why women are the way that they are. I'm not saying that either. But you can blame the so-called white man first and foremost, because he did, push this woman's lip thing at an all-time high. Yet, you men, especially of the truth, you should understand by now, man. You should understand that women ain't really above you, that it's only a delusion. This ain't really the real reality. And when shit hits a fan, the real reality is going to kick in. Women are going to be begging and bowing down at your feet to protect them. All right, to keep them safe from all the troubles and everything that's getting ready to come upon this earth, man. So you brothers keep that in mind. Don't lose focus of that. Get your little, your little pussy on the side or whatever. If you got to deal with a harlot, deal with a harlot. You know what I'm saying? It's just for your mind. It's for you as a man. So you don't become an incel. So you don't become, you one of them dudes who, you know what I'm saying? I don't really want to speak too much on it. It's kind of worldly, but, you got these guys, man, out here. They just simping, man. They giving all their money to these women. They letting women just take complete advantage of them. And women don't even like that. They'll get turned off by that. They'll take advantage of you, get what they get from you, and move on. And you over here thinking, I did everything right. I did, fuck that spirit, man. Get out of that spirit. All right, so with that, I'm going to say, call low, Yahweh, Shemel, Washai, Bashem, Rakak, Wadash. Hope and pray this short lesson was edifying to the elect. And Lord willing, I'll see you in the next one. Shalom.